What's going on, everyone? Peace, power, and profit. Sorry about that. I was just talking. I thought this thing was running. What's going on, everybody? Peace, power, and profit. It's your brother African Emporium coming on here live to again have our awesome Q&A session. Uh, After watching that explosive documentary, right? Again, I kind of played it, last week, and I wanted to come back and do it again, so we can have a more thorough discussion, from it, to break down a lot of things that we saw that was a very stark reality, in terms of how we're being fleeced again, uh, as the sheep we've been branded to be, right? Through these governance, these corporate governance, through the central banking system, right? And it's weird too because, knowing that, for most of us, again, we kind of already know the game because again, we're in the business of, trying to, be our own, sovereign wealth creators, right? If I could use that terminology as investors and traders, we're using the same global system who's trying to literally destroy you under the debt monetary system. We're using that against them, right? Because outside of that, what do you have, right? If you don't have sovereign land, sovereign assets, which seems to be kind of like, like finding a unicorn obviously in these days in terms because these central bankers have so much control and influence over the world, and you would think that there's no really patches of land that's untouched, right? But for the most part, just being in a position where again you can be in control more so of your well-being than that of just falling in line with the status quo, right? When we say falling in line with the status quo, we know exactly what that means, right? It's not a trick question. It's not to demean anybody's, journey in life in terms of what they've been having to do to survive, uh, you know, but more so, you know, my main frame, I should say, or mind frame is to, put us in a position where we start to see the great things about, how we can, again, shape our own narrative, right? How we can present, you know, some simple monetary policies in our own life, right? Under the current system in a way where you're going to again benefit off the value that they're trying to hustle you. You turn around and figure out a way to hustle them, right? And so that's what this is all about, right? This is all about again realizing that, you know, either you're gonna, just lay down and take anything that's been, given to you or that's being done to you, or you're going to put yourself in a position again to, eliminate people, from controlling your life as much as possible, right? I mean, and that goes, across all, aspects of life too, in essence, to, dealing with people, personally or just, in a governmental setting, right? You have to figure out where you are in the greater scheme of things, right? And so, again, just want to have this conversation here. Again, I'm going to start sharing the link out. So yeah, can you guys hear me first off? Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, press 1 in the back chat. I'm gonna send the link out here for you guys too. If you can hear me, uh, you know, press 1 in the back chat. All right. So that way I know at least everything is working on my end here. As I'm setting the live stream up as well, for the discussion here. And again, I do appreciate you guys hanging out with your brother. I know it's late. And after watching that documentary, probably like, man, look at here. Right? Like, bro, that's enough for me tonight after hearing all that, right? All right. You guys can hear me loud and clear? Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right. So yeah, so definitely like, share, subscribe, guys. I am going to share this particular link out for a little bit more, a little bit more people as well, because some people didn't know I had a plan to go live after that documentary as well to discuss, the bill that we just kind of watched through that documentary. So give me a hot second here while I get this link posted across a couple of my little social medias. And, just in case people might want to come in the building. Just want to make sure I'm able to capture everyone. and it's late. Again, it's Friday. I mean, most of you guys probably be at the movies, the dinner or some kind of art gallery, or sipping paints in the club, or wherever you would be on a Friday night. Well, based on coronavirus, that ain't happening, right? Unless you're gonna have it at your house, and everybody being hazmat suits, and sipping your drink inside your hazmat suit through a straw like a camelback or the military have. Right? Unless you're gonna have that kind of interaction, then I don't know if it's even worth the risk it, right? Right? I don't know if it's even worth the risk it, right? So again, so we have a little time on our hands, unless you just kind of doing the most important thing ever, building and bonding with your spouses, which is always a positive, right? I saw a stat the other day. Now they're saying that this is a great time to rekindle some old flames, and build on your relationships and all that kind of stuff like that, right? So, so I hope that's happening, right? Hopefully there's more love moments come out of this than divorces, right? Again, being sheltered in for over 30 plus days, it's really going to test a lot of people's relationship, or it's going to build them, right? But one thing for sure, we're going to build on this data about this money, right? We're going to build on this information surrounding financial literacy, right? As I've always said, it's a non-negotiable aspect of our lives, right? Whether we want to see it as something that's just, something that we just can, learn, the basics in passing and just kind of go out there and live our lives, or again, we take it to that next level, right? We take it to that next level of saying, hey, I think it's even more of a time right now for me to take my own financial, future in my own hands, right? And that's literally how I see it, right? It's so much so that again, I am willing to put, you know, uh, a lot of my time, my efforts, test of fortitude, whatever resources, everything behind being able to, crack this code in a way where I can make it make sense for me, those who might want to see, find value in it as well. But more so, again, to be, free from these so-called, economic shackles, right? They got everybody, sitting at home literally right now. For those who are not in a position to really take care of themselves, waiting on a check from the government. And again, Wall Street has not missed a meal since the middle of March, since this coronavirus has hit, right? They're not missing meals over there in Wall Street, right? And being a person who invests in trading in the markets day to day, again, I see it, I see it just like you guys see it. So it's not like, it's some kind of, hyperbolic, statement. It is what it is. We're again, the market last week put up over 13%. 13% last week on some of the most horrible economic data, most horrible statistical values of deaths that happened this past week, and infections, right? The most horrible forward outlooking aspect of what the economy is going to look like based on these companies are being shut down, or shut down, and businesses are shuttered as well, right? All that, that data was able to essentially give the Federal Reserve and the central banks and the hedge funds and all the people officers who in cahoots a reason to go out there and say, we're going to defy all this bad logic or bad news, print unlimited money, and